What's going on, guys? This is Chandler Smith, and I just got 73 storage units under contract and a double wide trailer. And I also am going to do my first ever partnership with the one and only Garrett Myers, only because he grew back the mustache and you guys loved it. So we figured, hey, let's go buy some storage units together. So in this video, we're gonna run through the numbers, we're gonna show you the units, and I'm gonna talk about why I finally decided to partner up with somebody. So with all of that being said, let's jump into it.
Let's jump into it.
All right, guys, if you're new to the channel, my name's Chandler Smith.
Just come sit in the middle, man.
Yeah.
Come
I'm Chandler Smith, and I've been investing in real estate for the... I don't know how I'm supposed to roll with that.
Just come sit.
All right, guys, last time we did a video with Garrett, people reached out and said they thought that we would make a great gay couple. Actually, I think they were more making fun of us. The reality is, Garrett's my best buddy. We're both happily married. And right now we are super pumped because we got all of these storage units under contract. Now, a big reason that we were able to get these under contract is Garrett. Garrett was actually able to build a relationship over quite a long time. I mean, you've known this family for years. I also knew him a little bit just from living in the same town, but we've been eyeing these storage units for probably about 6 months to a year. We actually came out here and looked at them a year ago, but we couldn't come to a price and get the seller to the point where they're comfortable selling. But after a lot of work and a lot of time, we just got them under contract at some numbers that both of us are pretty pumped about. So we're gonna run you through all the numbers. We're gonna talk about everything we're planning on doing with this complex, and I'm gonna share with you why I decided to do a partnership when every other piece of real estate I own is just owned personally. All that we ask you to do is, you wanna help me out on this one, Garrett?
Smash the like button and subscribe.
Perfect, and hit the little bell so you can make sure you catch future videos. Also, in the comments, let Garrett know. I'm trying to talk him into starting a YouTube channel, but it's been a little bit of a push, so let him know down in the comments if you think he should do his own channel as well. One of my favorite parts about going and finding a deal is just the process of finding that deal, especially when you get good deals, just the story behind how you were able to find it, how you were able to put it together. And so we've got to go back about 1.5 years ago when Garrett decided he was going to start a lawn mowing company. And when I say start, I use that loosely because he was purchasing an existing lawn care company. Now, when Garrett came to me and said, Chandler, I'm gonna start a lawn care business, I said, dude, you're nuts. You're a regional manager at Aptive. You're making tons of money there. You're managing tons of sales reps. You already have hardly any time. You're also investing a ton on the side. And I just didn't think it was going to be a good place for him to put his time. However, he kind of had a different vision in mind.
Yeah, so, should I hold it?
Yeah.
My vision for the lawn care business was obviously do an excellent job cutting grass, first and foremost. But I knew that through this lawn care business, I'd be able to connect directly with homeowners and probably a lot of elderly homeowners who would want to sell at some point. And I also was hoping that I could get into mowing apartment complexes and hopefully connect with owners there. And I figured a $5 discount or a $10 weekly discount on lawn mowing would mean a ton to these multi-unit owners, and eventually that would help me to hopefully get my foot in the door and buy their properties.
Now, at the time, I thought this was a terrible vision. However, if there's one thing I've learned after doing sales and then real estate and now YouTube, is there's always a way to take what you're doing or what you want to do and leverage it with itself. And I've come to find that Garrett's idea to start a lawn care business, that now he has all the systems in place, it's running itself, but it also has opened a ton of doors, including these storage units, for us to be able to now get under contract.
Yeah, so the guy who owns these storage units is actually the guy who owned the lawn care business's dad. And so while he was taking me out and showing me the ropes with the lawn care business, we got to talking about these units and we tried to put it together. We talked a lot. We were close about 1 year ago, but the dad decided last minute that he wasn't quite ready to sell them. So we've kept in touch over the past year. Life lesson there, always keep in touch. Life is all about who you know. So we kept in touch, and little by little, I think he's probably worked on his dad and I've worked on him, and I've also worked on Chandler because I probably wouldn't have been able to pull this off myself. And here we are, ground zero.
Now, one thing that's really cool about these units is, again, they have a value add opportunity. And I want to talk about this because storage units for me were brand new. And I have tons of people come to me and say, Chandler, we want to get into a real estate. How on earth do we know what something can rent for? Now, I talk about this a ton in my real estate investing course, so you can figure it out. But I'm going to tell you exactly what I did on these units. I called my secretary and I said, hey, I want you to pull up all of the prices of the storage units in this city, like every one of them. We put together this huge spreadsheet. We asked these units tons of questions, and they're probably annoyed, but we got all of their prices for all of their sizes. We figured out what their vacancy was, and we put this all on a spreadsheet, and I said, okay, what are these units doing that other units aren't, that are on the higher end? What would we need to do with these properties to get them up to the higher end? And right now on these units, are we in the middle? Are we lower? Are we higher? Where do we fall with these prices, and what do we have to do to be able to get them up to more than what they're at? And so after doing a huge analysis, we came to find that there was very little vacancy, but the units that were way overpriced, there was a little bit more vacancy, and we found the sweet spot where we said, hey, we know we can eliminate vacancy and get them up to this price, and then those are the prices we used to determine if this was a good purchase. Now, originally the owner wanted 1.4, which really was way too high, especially with what they're renting at right now. However, the owner is awesome. Like, the seller of these units has been someone that's been super easy to work with, super kind, but also it was a little bit of a back and forth process getting to a price that we were happy with and they were happy with. And we paid more than I would have liked, but I do think we're going to be able to make it worth it with what we're going to increase these units to. And I'm sure they felt like they gave up a little more than they would have liked. And so it's turned out to be a perfect situation. Now, right now, I'm not going to get into the numbers. I'll give you a little bit of what we plan on doing with them, but just 6 months to a year from now, we're gonna do another video and break down all of the numbers and everything else so that you can hopefully see how much value we've been able to add and where the units are at then and what we've been able to get the return up to. With all of that being said, now me and Garrett are gonna go and give you the tour of the unit. So let's go check them out. And if you guys stick around throughout the video, you're gonna get a little taste of the magical marketing we're gonna be using to make sure that we're able to bump rents on all of these units. So make sure you stick around and you'll get to see more ads just like this one.
What's going on, guys? We've got these storage units here. We've got big ones, small ones, and 2 variations of medium ones. Sign up now for a real big discount.
Say half off.
Half off.
Perfect, nailed it.
All right, so first off, the owner has been using these. Now, within these, you've got a big shop, and I'm actually gonna show you some footage of it right now. It's got a bathroom in it. It also has a little office area, and this is something we think we can probably get to the point where we're renting, we were thinking 1,100 eventually.
Yeah, we're hoping.
You've got these units, but then it's separated over here, so it's got another unit. I think all of it we could get 1,200, but we're gonna be looking in to seeing if we broke them up, if we'd be able to get even more than that. These are kind of the mid-range units. Now, when we looked into these after checking pricing out, worst case scenario, we think like no vacancy, we can get them up $10 to $15 per unit.
Yeah.
Best case scenario though, we found units in our city that are going for $50 more per unit. Now, that's a long shot, and when we called them, they usually had 6 to 7 vacancies. However, there's a good chance if we listed these at 75 and gave competitive pricing, and what I mean by that is told the people that are going to be managing them for us to say, hey, well, if we can get you in right now, what if we knock another $10 off a month, and then we end at 65 or 70 or 75, then that's still going to put us right where our numbers need to be. For us to be at a place where we're happy with, we just need to get these units up $10 per unit, and I feel really confident we're going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I think we'll have no problem.
Garrett feels even more confident than I do. This was an intimidating purchase for me because multifamily is my jam, but it was just time to do something a little different. And I'm in the process of buying my 5th vehicle. And so I figured, hey, rather than rent a storage unit, I could just buy like 73 of them.
Do you have a basement or a garage full of junk, couches, stuff like that? Well, come park them here. You can pay us $75 a month for the next 4 years so you can never look at them again. Storage units.
So, Garrett, tell us about these ones. You gotta come.
So these are storage units. There are several of them. They're slightly smaller than the other storage units. We think we can get rents up a lot on these ones too.
Perfect. All right, you did a great job and you talked a lot less than I did. So what about these bigger ones?
These are cool. These are big. These are kind of rare for storage units. They're long and they're wide and they're tall, so people park RVs or expensive boats. They all have power. There's a couple people that run like really small businesses out of them. I think we'll be able to get a lot more out of these as well. And one of the biggest reasons, you can't see it, but there's a Costco that just got put in like a half a mile that way. And so I think this whole area is going to transform and bring a lot of traffic and a lot of people who want these units.
And one of the things that's really important is we researched, I looked on Bigger Pockets. I did quite a bit of research. I mean, it took me a good week worth of looking into everything you need to look into to purchase storage units. Is we really feel like we're in a location where, one, we've got a very busy street up here, so we're getting a lot of eye traffic, but also this is just on the outskirts of town, and all of the new development is coming this way. With the Costco, with a lot of new construction, with homes, just a ton of other stuff. This is the part of our city that's really growing on top of already being on a very busy street, and that's gonna be super important for getting the foot traffic and eyes on it so that we can keep these units filled. And one thing that was really exciting for me about these bigger units is we found units this side in town that had electrical, and these do have electrical, that were going for $100 more. Now again, they had a little bit of vacancy, and these right now have 0 vacancy, most likely because they're on the cheaper end of the spectrum. And so we're really excited to come in, put together a better website, make sure that my brother works some magic. If you want to check out his YouTube channel, he's killer at doing this stuff. It's Peyton Clark Smith. But we're really thinking we can get a ton more eyes on this. We can raise the price and add a ton of value, and hopefully get to a point where we're raking in the cash. Garrett will have a place to park his boat, and I'll have a place to park my brand new, we're not gonna spoil it today.
Tired of junk like this clogging up your yard? Come park it at our storage units.
The other thing that's really cool is we've got the storage units over here, but if you turn around this way, we have a bunch of parking right here that we can use. And back through here, you can kind of peek, there's actually a double wide trailer. Now, the management before was living in this, but we're gonna be able to come in. We're not gonna use on-site management for these because of what we have set up. And we're gonna make sure that we're able to come in and raise rents. And so that's another place that we can add value. You're such an idiot. Also, these are all going for $15 per parking spot. I looked it up and we should be pulling like 40 or 50 a month on that. So there are just so many ways that we're gonna be able to add value on not only the units, but this additional parking and the trailer.
Are you a retired school bus driver? Well, if you own your bus, come park it at our storage unit, half price. Tell them Yogi sent you.
Now, Garrett just pointed out something that I think is really important. As we were doing research on these, we came to find that yes, it's real estate. It's going to go up in value. It's got all of the benefits of real estate with taxes and other things. However, it's a very different business. We need to make sure that there's always someone there to answer the phones. We need to make sure that our website is good. We need to make sure that all of those are in place to make sure that we're getting the people in the units. And I know you're saying, well, Chandler, isn't that the same when it comes to renting property? Yeah, it is, but I just think this is something that it's even more crucial to make sure that you're marketing properly. The other thing we've come to find with these units is the expenses are absurdly low, especially with how new these units are. I mean, there is literally no expense other than getting rid of the snow, which we're headed into really soon. But other than that, you don't have a whole lot of maintenance. You might have the occasional call where someone locks themselves out, but our maintenance expense is substantially lower. And we were able to figure that out by researching, but also by seeing what the previous tenants had done with these. And we're just really confident with where our numbers are at that we're gonna be able to add value and do the same thing that I've been able to do and that Garrett's been able to do with our other real estate. Now, if you can't tell, we're freezing right now. So we're gonna go and hop in our cars and get out of here. But if you guys enjoyed the video,
smash the like button.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell, and let us know what questions you have, because if we do get this to the closing table, which we're pretty confident we're going to because we have to close in 1 week on these units. We're gonna talk about the incredible financing we were able to pull off to be able to do that. Make sure you let us know any questions you have down in the comments, and we'll make sure we answer them in the next video when we come to close on these bad boys.
Yeah.
Again, if you enjoyed the video, push the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys next time. We're gonna go warm up.
Yeah. Are you a hoarder? Do you have too much crap in your house? Come put it here. For only 75 bucks a month, you can lock it away and never look at it again. Set it up on auto draft.
Why do you keep doing that with your eyebrows?
I don't know. I'm not used to YouTube, man. Does your backyard look like this? If you come park your stuff here, it can look much better. Do you have more vehicles, supercars, other things than you actually ever get to use? Why not pay for some storage units? Put them away, never look at them. Do you own 4 school buses? Well, if you do, come park them at our storage units.